The Lust for Life was written by Irving Stone. This novel is a fictionalized biography of Vincent van Gogh, the famous Dutch painter. It tells the story of Van Gogh's life, his struggles, and his passion for art. The book is based on real letters between Vincent and his younger brother, Theo. Through these letters, we see Vincent's thoughts, dreams, and emotions. It is a deeply emotional and powerful story about a man who never stopped fighting for his dreams, even when the world did not understand him. Vincent van Gogh was born in 1853 in a small village in the Netherlands. His father was a pastor, a strict and religious man, while his mother was kind but distant. As a child, Vincent was serious and quiet. He spent a lot of time outdoors, walking in the fields and looking at nature. He felt deeply connected to the world around him and was always searching for something meaningful. He was different from other children, restless, curious, and intense. He found joy in books and drawings, but he struggled to fit in with other people. As Vincent grew older, his family sent him to work in an art gallery in The Hague. At first, he liked the job because he was surrounded by paintings. But over time, he grew frustrated with the business of art. He hated how paintings were treated like products to be sold, instead of works of passion and beauty. He wanted art to mean something deeper. His strong opinions and unpredictable behavior made it difficult for him to keep the job, and he was eventually dismissed. This was a painful moment for him, but it was also the beginning of his search for a true purpose in life. After leaving the art gallery, Vincent decided to become a preacher, like his father. He was deeply religious and wanted to help people. He went to Belgium and lived in a poor mining town where he tried to bring hope to the struggling workers. He gave away his own clothes, food, and money to help them. He lived among them in the same terrible conditions, sleeping on the floor of a small hut and eating very little. He wanted to truly understand their suffering, but the church leaders thought he was too extreme. They believed a preacher should be respected and should not live like a beggar. They dismissed him, leaving him lost and heartbroken. It was during this time of deep despair, at around 26 years old, that Vincent turned to art. He realized that he could express his feelings and thoughts through drawing and painting. At first, his work was dark and serious, showing the difficult lives of poor people. He painted coal miners, farmers, and weavers, people who worked hard and suffered. His early paintings were rough, full of deep shadows and heavy emotions. One of his first important works, The Potato Eaters, showed a poor family gathered around a dimly lit table, eating a simple meal. The painting was not beautiful in the traditional sense, but it was powerful. It captured the reality of their hard lives. Vincent's younger brother, Theo, supported him throughout his journey. Theo worked as an art dealer in Paris and believed in Vincent's talent. He sent him money, encouraged him, and helped him keep going even when things seemed hopeless. The two brothers wrote letters to each other constantly, sharing their thoughts, fears, and dreams. Their bond was one of the most important relationships in Vincent's life. Theo was more than just a brother. He was Vincent's greatest supporter, his only real connection to the world. Vincent moved to different places, trying to find his artistic voice. He studied in the Netherlands and later in Belgium. He was always searching for a way to improve his skills, and he worked tirelessly, often painting for hours without rest. But his restless nature made it difficult for him to stay in one place. He felt misunderstood and lonely, unable to connect with most people. Even in the world of art, he struggled to find acceptance. Eventually, Vincent moved to Paris, where he met other artists like Paul Gauguin, Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec, and Émile Bernard. Paris was full of new artistic ideas, and Vincent was inspired. He discovered bright colors and different painting techniques. Before, his paintings had been dark and somber, but now they became full of life and energy. He experimented with new styles, learning from the Impressionists and other avant-garde artists. Yet, despite being surrounded by people, he still felt isolated. He was passionate, intense, and difficult to understand. His emotions were too strong, his thoughts too deep. People admired his talent, but they found it hard to be close to him. Feeling the need for a fresh start, Vincent moved to the south of France, to a town called Arles. He was enchanted by the bright sunlight, the open fields, and the simple beauty of the countryside. He painted with incredible speed, capturing the colors of the land. The golden wheat fields, the deep blue sky, the warm light of the sun. He created some of his most famous paintings in Arles, including the sunflowers. He dreamed of starting an artist community, a place where painters could live and work together in harmony. He invited Paul Gauguin to join him, hoping they could inspire each other and create something great. At first, Vincent and Gauguin got along well. They spent their days painting and discussing art. But soon, their differences became clear. Vincent was emotional, spontaneous, and driven by passion. Gauguin was more confident, calculated, and independent. Their arguments grew more intense, and Vincent's mental state began to deteriorate. He became paranoid, anxious, and overwhelmed by his emotions. One night, during a heated argument, Vincent suffered a mental breakdown. In a moment of madness, he cut off part of his own ear and gave it to a woman at a nearby brothel. The event shocked everyone. He was taken to a hospital where he was treated for his mental illness. After leaving the hospital, Vincent continued to paint. But his mind was fragile, and he struggled with deep depression. He voluntarily entered an asylum in Saint-Rémy, hoping to find peace. Even there, he never stopped working. He painted the hospital gardens, the night sky, the fields outside his window. During this period, he created one of his most famous paintings, The Starry Night. The painting is full of movement and emotion, showing a swirling sky over a quiet village. It reflects both his suffering and his hope, his pain and his love for the world. Despite his incredible work, Vincent remained unrecognized as an artist. His paintings did not sell, and he felt like a failure. He depended on Theo's financial support, and he worried that he was a burden to his brother. His sadness grew deeper. In 1890, he moved to a small village called Auvers-sur-Oise, near Paris. There, he was under the care of Dr. Gachet, who tried to help him. Vincent continued painting, creating nearly a painting a day. But inside, he was exhausted. He felt that no matter how hard he tried, he would never find peace. One day, overwhelmed by hopelessness, Vincent went into a wheat field and shot himself in the chest. He managed to walk back to his room, where he lay in pain for 2 days. Theo rushed to his side. As Vincent lay dying, he told his brother, "The sadness will last forever." He passed away at the age of 37, a man who had given everything to his art, but had never seen success in his lifetime. Theo, devastated by grief, died just a few months later. The two brothers, always connected in life, were buried side by side. It was only after Vincent's death that people began to see the true value of his work. Theo's wife, Johanna, dedicated her life to making sure the world knew about Vincent's art. Over time, his paintings became famous, and today, he is considered one of the greatest artists in history. His work, filled with color and emotion, continues to inspire people all over the world.